Is $1 million really the magic number to reaching financial independence? In this video, we will dive deep into looking at how to reach that seven-figure milestone and also how to calculate your own financial independence number. Buckle up because we will be looking at how to calculate your financial independence number and how to reach that $1 million milestone in your portfolio. Hi, my name is Dr. Joanna Ray with SustainaSoul, where we talk about soulful and sustainable living, including financial sustainability. Today we will be talking about how to reach a $1 million portfolio so that you can draw on that portfolio in retirement. I will share with you my investment strategy to build that $1 million portfolio and reach financial independence. However, stick around to the end of the video because I will be sharing with you some tips on how to build that $1 million portfolio. Here's the thing, I started investing in my 40s and all the financial advice out there tells you to start investing as soon as you can. It's definitely best to start investing in your 20s or as soon as possible because then you have time on your side and you can put a small amount of money forward and build on your portfolio using compound interest. Unfortunately, this was not my case. I moved to Thailand in my 20s and I had a series of low-paying jobs. I did an unpaid internship and then I also did my PhD and I did not have any income coming in during that time. So by the time I had money to invest, I was in my mid-30s and I did not get serious about investing until I was 40. I was shocked to discover how far behind I was. The first question is, why am I trying to build a $1 million portfolio? Well, the simple answer is financial independence. I'm trying to build a $1 million portfolio so that I can draw on that portfolio in retirement and not have it to depend on others or financial assistance in order to fund my retirement. You might be asking yourself, how did I settle on that $1 million figure? Well, I didn't just pick out that number from a hat or decide that it was a nice figure to strive for. I actually did some calculations in order to find my financial independence number. In order to calculate your financial independence or FI number, you first need to find your annual expenses in retirement or your retirement budget. Finding your retirement budget includes considering some various factors that you will have in your expenses in retirement. Here are some of the factors that you might consider when calculating your retirement budget. First, it's a good idea to review your current budget. Review your current spending habits and see what you currently spend your money on. You might want to use an app like Fudget or YNAB to calculate your spending habits for at least 30 days, if not a few months. And then you can have a better estimate of your spending habits. Next, make an estimate of your retirement expenses. Think of some of the expenses that you'll have in retirement, including healthcare, food and entertainment, travel, and other discretionary expenses. You should also factor any other changes to your expenses, such as downsizing or moving to another state or country. Some of these factors you may have to estimate how they will influence your retirement budget. Next, consider inflation. Remember to include inflation when calculating your retirement budget, as the cost of goods and services will increase over time, which means your purchasing power of your savings and investment will decrease over time. To protect against inflation, it is important to invest in assets which have traditionally outpaced inflation, such as stocks and real estate. It is also important to review and re-strategize when you are actually looking at how your performance has gone against inflation, as well as looking at your risk tolerance. The next thing you should do is to review your retirement income sources. You should look at where you will have retirement income sources such as Social Security, pension, and retirement account withdrawals. This will help you to calculate how much money you actually have to budget for in addition to these income sources. Next, do try to be flexible and to consider that your retirement budget may change as your circumstances change. If your circumstances change, you may need to recalculate your financial independence number in order to see that you will have enough money in your retirement to reach your desired lifestyle. So now let's look at my example so you can see a little bit of how you actually calculate your retirement budget. I currently spend around $1,700 here in Bangkok, and I actually have to multiply that number by 12 in order to get the number $20,400 for an annual expenses per year. So I actually bumped up my monthly expenses to $2,000 per month because I wanted to add a little bit flexibility and a little bit more for travel in retirement. That may seem like a low number for some of you, but actually in Thailand, I think that number is quite reasonable. Okay, here we are on the Smart Asset website. I'm going to go ahead and go to where it says investing, and then I'm going to go to the calculators. Actually, I want the inflation calculator. So here I'm going to insert my variables, which are $24,000 in the year 2023, which will be a total of how many dollars in the year 2040? So it will be $36,519 with an inflation rate of 2.5%. I'm going to increase that to 3%. And actually that makes it very close to 40,000 or 39,660. And we can see the graph here in terms of the value of the dollar over time. So this just gives you a rough estimate of what your dollar will purchase in the year that you hope to retire. Obviously, you can play around with these calculators and insert your own values here. Next, let's take a moment to consider something called the safe withdrawal rate, or the 4% rule. For this example, we're going to assume we have no additional income sources in retirement. Assuming you want to retire at age 60 and withdraw on that retirement for the next 30 years, you can use the 4% rule to calculate your financial independence number. The 4% rule suggests that you can withdraw 4% of your total portfolio for up to 30 years without depleting the portfolio. The 4% rule is not a guarantee, but rather a guideline that you can use based on historical data. Now let's go back to our calculations. Using the 4% rule, you can calculate your financial independence number. Basically, you can take the desired income in retirement and divide it by the withdrawal rate. In this case, we are using the desired income in retirement of $40,000 per year and a safe withdrawal rate of 4%. Therefore, to have a $40,000 per year in retirement and maintain that income for 30 years with a withdrawal rate of 4%, you would need to accumulate a retirement portfolio worth $1 million. Another way to find your financial independence number is to multiply your desired income by 25. The next question is, how much money do you need to invest to reach the goal of $1 million in your portfolio? Looking at this information from 4 Pillars Freedom, this is a chart showing you how many years it takes to reach each additional $100K in your portfolio by adding $20K a year for the total time period. Now, this is assuming a 7% annual interest rate, which should be achievable with the historical gains in the stock market. As you can see from the chart, it takes fewer and fewer years to reach each additional 100K in your portfolio, and this is the magic of compound interest. So what does this mean? If you were to start from zero today, it would take you 22.24 years in order to reach $1 million in your portfolio if you added 20K each year to portfolio. Now, let's look at my particular case. If I start at 100K, it will take me 17.8 years to reach $1 million in my portfolio by investing $20,000 each year, which means I will reach financial independence at the age of 60, which is when I plan to retire. So here we are on the Engaging Data website, and this is their FIRE calculator. Let me go ahead and change some of these variables here to match what I'm searching. So I'm changing my age. I'm also changing my current investments, my income after taxes as well. Actually, my spending is $20,000 and my retirement spending is $40,000 with a target withdrawal rate of 4%. My stocks are 98% with cash at 2%. And that leaves me at let me push enter here, a FIRE target of $1,070,000. And it looks like I will be reaching that in 16.4 years or at the age of 58, which is great news for me because that means I will be reaching financial independence at or before the age of 60. If you found this video of value so far, please smash the like button. It would help me out so much. Now I would like to share with you 5 tips to help you build that multi-million-dollar portfolio in order to live off as your nest egg in retirement. Building $1 million portfolio requires an investment strategy and a disciplined approach. Here are some general steps to help you get to that $1 million portfolio. The first tip is to start early. The earlier you start, the more time your investments have to grow. You can actually start as young as possible so that you can allow your investments to grow and allow that compound interest to take place. I wish I would have started earlier and I would have had more time for compound interest. The next tip is to invest regularly. Investing regular allows you to build your investment portfolio as you are regularly contributing to your portfolio. You can set up regular contributions so that you can contribute to your portfolio without even thinking about it. You can also dollar cost average into the investment portfolio and your selected positions. Dollar cost averaging means you go up and down with the market without trying to time the market. Next, you'll want to diversify your investments. Diversification is an important part of building a successful investment portfolio. You'll want to have a variety of assets including stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange-traded funds, or ETFs in order to reduce your risk and increase your chances of long-term success. For beginners to the stock market, there are plenty of alternatives out there to investing in index funds, whether it be a U.S. total stock market fund like BTI or an S&P 500 fund like VOO. But that might be something for another video. The next thing you want to do is to manage your risk. Investment is inherently risky and the risk depends on the asset class which you are investing in. So in addition to my stocks and ETFs, I also have some lower risk investments such as inflation tracking bonds and also an emergency fund which is a high yield savings account. Next, stay focused on your long-term goals. Building $1 million or more portfolio takes a long-term commitment and patience. Investing over time, you will experience economic downturns and fluctuations in the market. So be patient and keep track of your long-term goals. You will reap the rewards when you reach your investment goals and reach financial independence. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for following me on my financial independence journey, and I hope you found the 5 tips helpful. Financial independence is a journey which I definitely want to take with you, but however, I am not a financial advisor, and this is just me sharing with you some of the tips I've learned along the way. If you like this video and enjoy watching me on my financial independence journey, please watch the next video, and I'll see you next time.